Hi everyone, welcome back to Planet Dirt. My name's Alicia and we're gonna get a lot done today. Let's go. All right, so first up we are going to get these green stalks moved out of the greenhouse because it's not getting cold enough outside to kill what's in here, and honestly it's getting way too hot in the greenhouse already and things are starting to bolt, as you can see. So I'm gonna move these outside, and everything in here, I think, don't quote me on this, I think can handle a light freeze. And so I'm going to move it outside and hopefully nothing will be harmed. Fingers crossed. All right. And we need to get those moved out because we are going to start in on the raised bed project this weekend, which means we need room to work in here. And it's a little cramped because all of my plants are just shoved in here to keep them warm over the winter. So we can start moving stuff out. Tonight is going to be the last freeze for the next week. So we'll have about a week to get the raised beds taken care of before everything has to be moved back in. So we got our work cut out for it. All right, and that brings us to today. So I have a ton of peppers that need to be up potted. I up potted my tomatoes and they're looking absolutely fabulous. I posted a video about that, and then I posted a short recently just to show the update, and the tomatoes are looking great. The peppers are not looking great. I have waited way too long to up pot them, but life happens, so we're gonna get that done now. And I have all of these lovely cups that I'm going to put them in. I drilled holes in the bottom of them so we have a little bit of drainage. And we're going to get all of the peppers put into these today. I have some bigger pots that are like the fancier ones, but a lot of these peppers are going to be gifted as well. So I want to just put them all in these so that I can just hand them and say, you know, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever. And no one has to worry about getting me my pots back. So we're going to get started on these peppers, but I did want to show you what they look like really quick. Really quick, this is the state of the peppers. And they're not looking great. That's the tomatillo. It's starting to get a little bit burnt. I think it's just running out of nutrition. And the peppers back here, all right, the new leaves look great, but all of the old leaves are turning purple, and I think it's just a nutrient deficiency thing because they've been in these little tiny pots for way too long. The eggplant is looking great. Those are looking wonderful. I don't see any signs of stress on those. Some of the peppers look good. The Tabascos look good. The habanada, I got one to germinate, and that one looks good as well. The jalapenos are looking pretty good. These ones over here are looking good. It's mostly my sweet peppers, which is weird to me. The Jimmy Nardellos are looking good. But the rest of the sweet peppers are just looking very stressed, which is strange. I did start them on a different day than I started the hot peppers, so I might have done something that I didn't notice. Maybe I used a different soil. I thought I used the same soil. I don't know. Anyway, hot peppers are looking decent, but they need to be up potted. And the sweet peppers, they're just looking all sorts of stressed and little hungover seedlings. So we're going to get those ones up potted today as well. All right, y'all. So I got all of these filled up with soil, and I still have a few left. So I did some rough math before I got started, and this is how many I had plants for. And I don't have room for that many pepper plants in my greenhouse or even under my grow lights inside. I suppose I could take one tray inside. But man, I'm running out of trays. So I usually start way too many plants, but I guess I went even more overboard this year. I don't know why I'm surprised. So I'm going to get these going. I also wanted to get the sweet potatoes into some grow bags today because they are rooted out a lot. I don't really know how many roots they're supposed to have. I've never done this part before, but that one looks a little excessive. So I wanted to get those started today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I'm already running out of time. So I'm going to get these peppers up potted, and then I do need to start some more seeds. We are about a month out from our last frost date, and that means that I need to start the rest of my seeds, like all of my flowers, and I have a few other herbs and things that I need to get started. So basically everything except for my squash and cucumbers needs to get started today. So I wanted to restart also a couple of my tomatoes. My Roma tomatoes didn't really survive the transplant very well, and that's probably just something that I missed. Maybe I missed it when I was watering or something, but I need to start a couple more Roma tomatoes. But other than that, I think I'm good on tomatoes, but I do need to start the rest of my seeds. So I'm going to jump right back into it and get going because it's going to take me a bit to do all of this. All right, let's start with the eggplant. Let's start with some eggplant because we can. Look at how beautiful those are. They're looking good. I've never grown eggplant before. A couple of them look on the smaller side, so maybe I won't transplant those. I don't know. All right, so I just went and got a smaller tray. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant, because I have some celery in here too, some tomatillos, and ground cherries. I'm going to transplant everything that's not a pepper into this smaller tray, and then I'll have 3 big trays of peppers. And then I'll have 3 big trays of peppers. I think I counted around 50 peppers when I was doing some rough math. So honestly, I just hope I have room for what I have. All right, so there are 2 cells in here that have smaller eggplants in them, and I think these are the ones that I reseeded. I did have to reseed a few of the eggplants and a few of the peppers, and I can pretty much tell which ones are reseeded because they're significantly smaller than the other ones, just because of germination. So I think for these ones, I don't know that they're really big enough for me to tease apart yet, and I don't know how eggplant reacts to being transplanted. So I think I'm gonna just plop the entire cell out and transplant it like that, and then once another week or so goes by, I'll be able to tell which one's stronger, and I'll just snip the smaller of the seedlings so that there's only one in the tray. See, that one looked really small, but the roots on it look really good. They're still going down all to the bottom. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll do great. All right, and it looks like I had really good germination with the celery too, which is crazy because I usually do not get good germination with celery. I I don't know how celery does being transplanted, but I did tease some of the cells apart so that I could get multiple plants out of it. You can just leave celery as it is. You'll just get little tiny stalks, which isn't always bad. It just depends on what you use it for. Usually I'm chopping it up or using it for herb salt anyway, so I don't mind smaller stalks. But some of these were just really, really full. So I did try to tease them apart, and we'll see what happens. All right, got one tray done. Got the eggplant and the celery. All right, looks like for peppers, I'm going to start with poblanos. And these ones, I overseed peppers because they do transplant really well. So there's no harm in having a few come up in the same cell. But I overseeded a lot, apparently, with some of these. I was going for 3 poblanos, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poblanos. So I overshot it just a little bit, but poblanos are delicious, and I'll use them. So I can't be too sad about it, you know. What I am going to need to do, though, with the peppers is go back and label them all. So with the peppers, especially when they're small, it is really, really difficult to tell the difference between them. They look really similar. So what I'm going to do for the peppers that I did not do for the tomatoes, because the tomatoes, you can kind of tell the difference between a dwarf and an indeterminate and a determinate. Their leaves look different. One of them just looks more stout. It's easy to tell that it's a dwarf. Peppers are not like that. So after I plant each variety, I am going to stop and make the labels for each one before I move on to the next variety. All right, one down. 8 or 9 more varieties to go. I forget. I'm going to keep going with the spicy peppers first because I know I absolutely have to get the sweet peppers done. So I won't randomly stop if I start to feel tired. I need to get through this. All right, do the jalapenos next. It looks like there's 3 jalapenos. right, I have 5 cups left in this tray, and it looks like there's 5 habaneros. So, Mom, you're getting a habanero, because there's no way I'm going to use 5 plants worth of habaneros. My goodness.